pilot. Target and destroy all enemy forces.
What is up, YouTube? I am Reckless, and today I'm bringing you a game of Titanfall. It's the second one that I am bringing. I go 12-0, flawless gameplay, with 8 Titan kills. I doom 8 Titans, and I kill 40 minions. So it's a rather good gameplay, and I know I said in my last video that I've been struggling with consistency. And that is one of the things that I have finally started to get better at. I think the reason I was doing so poorly in the beginning was because every time I would get something new, I would want to try it out, which there's no problem with that, obviously, because if I wouldn't have been trying new things, I wouldn't have found this class that works for me. But my problem was, once I found something that worked, I didn't stick with it. Anytime I unlocked something new, anytime I got a new ability or whatever, I would try that out and try and get good with that, and it just wasn't working for me. So I found what worked for me, and now I'm sticking with it, and I'm doing loads better. That being said, I thought I would share some of my tactics with you. Some of them are very, very basic that probably a lot of people use, and some of them are my dirty little secrets that I am choosing to share with you guys. So the first thing you'll notice is that I'm running the car SMG. It has very good iron sights. I don't have a problem with them at all, honestly. But I'm using it with the HCOG here because it's a little bit more open map and whatnot. But even if you don't have it, it's probably one of the best iron sights in the game. I'm using it also with the counterweight attachment. I was trying to run things with a suppressor, and this goes with any gun. I was trying to run things with a suppressor, but if you didn't know this, a suppressor will always take one more shot to kill. It's not like in Call of Duty where it dampens your range or whatever. It actually literally affects your damage. So I have been not using the suppressors as much, and then, of course, that was obviously getting me killed, so I had to find a happy medium of learning when to move, when to shoot, when to take out grunts, and when to not. So that's something that you'll kind of have to figure out on your own, is learning how to not use a suppressor. I mean, if a suppressor was working for you, obviously keep using it, but it wasn't working for me because I found myself losing out to people who weren't using a suppressor more often. So that's my little bit of advice there, is kind of stay on the move. But one thing that I love about the car SMG is it helps you stay on the move with its second attachment that I recommend using, or trying at least, and that is the counterweight. I'm using it in this gameplay, and what it does is it locks your hip fire accuracy to as if you were always standing still. So if you're capturing an objective or something and you're wall hanging or wall running or something to that nature, or even if you're just walking around, you'll see it save my life a few times in this gameplay. It locks your hip fire to as if you were always standing still. So very beneficial. And what you'll see me do right here, I think, one thing that I do with my Titan, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but I wanted to talk about it while it was happening. One thing that I love doing is using the electric smoke, and whenever a Titan first falls, I love running up to the Titan, deploying my smoke, and then running away, because they can't be hurt while they're in their dome shield, or you can't shoot them from outside their dome shield, but if you're inside of it, you die over a period of time. But if you run in real quick and then run out with your smoke and deploy it, it'll still damage them while they're inside their dome. So that's a dirty little secret that I enjoy using all the time. But alright, so going back to just your regular pilot stuff. So I find that the Minion Detector, that's one thing that I have literally never changed, because I don't, first of all, I don't find anything else in that tier that is nearly as helpful as the Minion Detector. I mean, there's the Warp Fall Transmitter. I don't even remember what's exactly in that tier. I could pull it up, but I do know that there's pretty much nothing in there that is as helpful, especially if you're playing attrition and scoring hits on grunts and specters matter. Why would you not want to know the location of every single enemy grunt and specter on the minimap? So yeah, that's something that I do recommend. I wouldn't even say try it out. I would say use it, honestly. But like I said, that's just me. as far as the other tier goes, I usually like to go with Quick Reloader, especially for SMGs, especially for when I'm using the car with the counterweight, because I'm going to be using my ammo. Or if you're using the R97, that's what it's called, the R97 Compact SMG. If you're using that, I find that to be very helpful because you deplete your ammo really fast. The other thing, if I'm not using that, then I'm usually using the power cell regenerator, which whatever your ability is, your cloak, stim, or active radar pulse, it makes that regenerate faster. So those are the two things that I use the most in that. Now, as far as tactical ability goes, there are two that I like and one that is okay. The one that I really like the most right now currently, especially when I'm running my SMG, is stim. I used to not like it at all because I didn't read everything that it did. I read at first, the first thing I read was that it increased your mobility, and I didn't read any further. So I tried it out, and it lasted so short that I was like, oh, well, that doesn't do crap, so I never went back to it. But then I read that it helps you regenerate your health faster, and then I was like, whoa, that's a game changer. So definitely is one of the more beneficial things. Here you'll see me using the active radar pulse, but it's not because I have it equipped, it's because I'm using the burn card where it gives me the longer lasting. I think it's called Echo Vision or something, no, that's the one where it permanently replaces it. Anyway, so I'm using that here, and I never die, so you never get to see me use stim. But I was trying out the active radar pulse, but the thing that I don't like about it is that most people are still unfortunately using cloak, and the active radar pulse is actually very helpful, but cloak actually counters it, and there's no counter to cloak. So if a lot of people are using cloak, active radar pulse, I mean, there are times when it's useful, but if you're using Minion Detector, there's really not a huge necessity for using the active radar pulse. So that leaves us with cloak. So if you don't like stim, if you don't find stim very helpful, then I do use cloak. Cloak I use more on my assault rifle classes, which you know is more helpful because you're going to be stationary a little bit more. But when I'm running and gunning, I like to use stim. As far as your anti-Titan weapon and your secondary go, it's pretty much pick your poison. I prefer the second handgun, the single fire, I can't remember what it's called, not the auto pistol and not the Magnum type one, but the other one. And then I prefer the mag launcher. But onto the Titans, I prefer the Strider, and right here is a perfect example of why. I'm fighting an ogre, but as you can see, or as you probably know, they have a lot more health than the Strider does. But as you can see, I'm just dashing past this guy, and he never has a clue. Every shot he fires is completely always off because I'm always able to just dash past him. That's one of the hugely beneficial things of the Strider. That, and because it has the 3 dashes, I can do my little smoke trick that I was talking about earlier. As far as the weapons go, there are 2 that I really like, and obviously one is the chain gun. I think that's the one that most people gravitate towards. And as far as killing pilots goes, it is absolutely amazing for that. Whenever I get my really high scoring ones, it's usually because of the chain gun. But I really like the triple threat, and the triple threat I prefer because it seems to do more damage and take down Titans faster than the chain gun, even though it's less accurate. Plus, if other pilots are in a building or in windows, you can shoot them, or you can shoot the triple threat in there. And this is one thing I didn't learn until recently, but if you aim in with the triple threat, it turns it sideways so that the balls that it shoots out go vertical instead of horizontal. So that's really fun. But I like using the triple threat because I can put an object between myself and another Titan and shoot over that object, which is something you can't do with any other Titan weapon. Anyway guys, this is bringing us to the end of the video. I don't want you to take this as a tips and tricks that will work for everyone. Obviously there are some strategies in here that I use that will not be beneficial to maybe anyone, but this is what is currently working for me at this time. If what you are doing is working, then keep doing what you're doing. That was the mistake that I was making in the beginning, was taking other people's advice too much and trying to change my style. But if you are struggling, hopefully some of these tips will help. Leave a rating where you feel the video deserves. A like would be appreciated, but as always, if not, that's cool. Any constructive criticism would be much appreciated in the comments, and as always guys, I am Reckless, and if you can't take it easy, don't take it at all. Peace.